Hey there guys, it's Zach here from WinBeta, and welcome to the WinBeta podcast for the week of the 15th of January 2015. With me as co-host Sean Michael. Hey there Sean.
Hey there guys.
And this week we have a number of stories. We'll be talking about Redstone builds, not mobile builds, although I thought there was a new mobile build this week. And what else? New hardware, new rumoured hardware being announced very soon. As well as the failures of Xbox One, because apparently Xbox One isn't doing too well in terms of sales compared to its competitor, which we shall not name.
Still beating the Wii U though.
Everything's beating the Wii U though, let's be fair. I'm pretty sure sales of the Microsoft Lumia 550 are beating the Wii U in terms of sales.
Oh, that's mean. It's got like 5 games worth playing.
At 5? I doubt that. I haven't heard of one game on the Wii U that's worth playing.
For you.
For most, who? What games on the Wii U are worth playing?
Super Smash Bros.
No.
Worth playing. Mario Kart's worth playing.
I've never been into Nintendo. I'm sorry to say.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes, we should probably dive straight in to the news for this week. So over to you, Sean.
All right then. All right. Well, speaking of apps and speaking of platforms that aren't supported, we pick on the Wii U. Nintendo, they don't have any app support. Oh yeah, Microsoft doesn't have any either. So they got this Islandwood thing. And Microsoft is asking for developers to submit Islandwood apps so that they can start pushing that through and finalize that as they try to desperately fix the app gap. We've talked about this kind of at length before, that I think Zach and I both are in agreement that if iOS is used, it's enough, and it's okay that a story is on hold for now, if not indefinitely, because what Islandwood does, it lets them use code from iOS apps to make actual Windows apps, not an emulator or something like that. And that involves a lot of processing power, from from Microsoft, and they have to figure out things that are compatible. And that's what we're doing. So they have a quote here. It says, "We want to make it as easy as possible to get started with Windows 10 Bridge for iOS," which I guess they're calling Windows Bridge for iOS. They're not calling it Islandwood. "In the coming weeks, we'll be launching a web tool that will automatically analyze your app for compatibility with the bridge and give you results right in your browser. You'll be able to see exactly how much work you'll have to do to bring your app to Windows, along with suggestions, tips, and workarounds for any libraries you're using that the bridge doesn't support yet." And that makes sense. So if you have an app and it's basically just a game, doesn't have any maps, doesn't have any services that you'd have to switch out for like Bing or Apple instead of Apple services or whatever, it'll say, "Oh, sweet, this app's 95% compatible. You only have to do a little bit of tweaking." If you're trying to do, I would probably guess, an app like Waze, it might even be on the Microsoft platform, but like a map-based platform, obviously that's going to involve a lot of recompiling and that sort of thing.
Periscope. Bring Periscope.
Yeah, I mean, and Periscope is an app that I can't imagine would take that much recompiling.
No, yeah, it should be pretty simple.
It's just, you scan it in this and it say you're 94% compatible, and you do, and you change that, then you have yourself an app, which is great. I hope that it gets more people on the platform, but they're starting to ask for people to send in apps so they can work on that, which is good.
Yeah, very, very good. I mean, this should hopefully big up the Windows 10 mobile app store, as well as the Windows 10 desktop app store, because, I mean, with the universal platform, you could easily do that whole universal one app thing. So very exciting times indeed for the mobile platform. Do you think this will actually help, though?
My opinion is for a while been, I think all of the, or if not all, but most of the platforms and services that supported Windows Mobile in the first place will eventually make a universal app if it makes sense. And we're already seeing that with the Fitbits and the. So it's like if your company cared enough about Windows to make an app in general on a tablet or a phone, I think they'll make a universal one. I don't think we've seen a ton of people jump and make a universal app that just didn't have one on the previous platform at all.
You know, Microsoft can be kind of cheeky with their whole 1 billion Windows 10 devices claim. Because if people start asking, once they reach 1 billion, if people start asking how many Windows 10 mobile devices are there, they can go, well, there's 1 billion Windows 10 devices. And then they can be like, but what about mobile? Well, it doesn't matter. There's 1 billion Windows 10 devices. They run the same software. It doesn't matter if it's a phone or if it's a desktop. It's the same thing. And then people will be like, okay. So if Microsoft says to developers, there are 1 billion people running the same software on this phone, do you reckon that will convince developers? Do you reckon Snapchat will finally give in to 1 billion users?
No, I don't think Snapchat will ever give in. But I think developers, like, look at Netflix. look, I use a Netflix app, even though I probably could just as easily use the browser. And Netflix noticed that more people were using the Netflix app than were using the browser because Windows 10 on their home PCs or whatever. So they made a universal app. And like I said, people that had apps before, people that things that make sense that scale between devices, I think they'll be fine. The real question is Islandwood going to make games that are exclusive? You know, like isn't it was it Clash of Clans that isn't on Windows Mobile?
There's a lot of games out on
There's
Windows
like a
10
lot of
Mobile.
game, and there's like one of the games. Their slogan is like, "No matter when, I will defend," and it's about how like people will always play this game no matter where they are,
Right.
except it doesn't support. I think ESPN, they're like they have a commercial now, and they're like, "Can I watch it on this?" And they're like, "You can watch it on all your devices," except I'm not sure if it's actually on like all devices. So my question is it going to fix that? I think it should. Like, what? Why wouldn't ESPN, if they could take their iPhone code, which is what's it called? Is it called Object C? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So they take the Object C code and put it over. It's not a map. It's not. It's not secure. There's no security things. There's very little that they have to worry about on that. Why not bring that over? So I think they should. I don't think it will for a while. I think it, apps like ESPN might like people that have touched the waters into Windows. I think will jump fully in, but some people won't.
Yeah, I think it because again, it's this, right now the problem is developers don't care. There's just not enough people on Windows 10 Mobile for developers to care, or Windows Phone, sorry, at the same time as well, for developers to care. I mean, even you can make it as easy as possible for developers. If there's nobody running the platform, why should they do it?
Yeah. I think America specific apps will probably never get like if it's a service that's only used on your phone and only in America, that'll never come on. But like CBS and news, like CBS has a ton of apps on Windows platform and they're evolving well. So yeah, I think you'll see it over time. The real question is going to make things like Periscope and other things. I think it'll help some. I just don't think it'll fix everything.
Just
I don't think
bring
it'll ever be completely fixed.
just bring back Project Astoria and let us emulate apps we want to emulate.
Well, side loading, yeah, there you go. But
Just let the Windows Phone fans do it. That's the only people left on this platform.
that's true. Yeah, Objective C. I believe that's someone said that in the
I
comments.
think most apps are written in. Didn't Apple introduce Swift, another code
Yeah,
base?
someone he said except at the moment. That's Gustav said that in the comments. Except most of iOS apps at the moment are Swift. So.
Well, the bridge is late. Moving on to something a little bit more interesting. I say a little bit because it's barely more interesting. A new Windows 10 build has surfaced this week. Build 11099. How are we pronouncing these? 11,099, I guess.
I guess yeah. Sure.
Windows 10 Redstone build 11,099 featuring one fix. I mean, there are more fixes that they didn't go through, but one notable fix and a couple of other things. The notable fix was file transfer dialogues have been fixed. So in the first Redstone build, 11,082, when you copied a file from one area to another, the copy dialog where you get the progress wasn't working. That's fixed in this new build. Also in Edge, if you type in about flags, there's a tick box that doesn't actually work that says something about using unpacked extensions. Doesn't actually work though, so that's fun. And the build string in the corner on the watermark is longer.
There you go,
That's
man.
pretty much it. Still nothing new. They are still working their butts off on the one core system and other under the hood things. They say Gabe says they will start checking in new features to the release branch very soon. In the next few builds, I believe he says. So maybe the next Insider build might not have anything either, but it shouldn't be too long now before we start actually seeing new features and UX changes. As I hadn't had it confirmed to me until recently, but there are apparently UI changes coming in Redstone, and not a fair bit, but there are UI changes coming that will be noticeable. I think most of the UI changes though are coming with just changes to the operating system itself. But yeah, there are some UI changes coming.
I'd like some more transparency.
Yeah, bring back Aero. People tweeting me some funny things from the Windows Feedback app earlier. The Feedback app's just a joke. It's just people complaining about things. Like who tweeted me let's all together now, arrow, arrow. It was all together now than just 500 lines of arrow in the feedback app, and that's been upvoted 100 and something times. Like, yay, Microsoft! Somebody at Microsoft has to sit through that feedback and go, oh well, there's the error stuff. Delete.
And it's a shame because the feedback. I think the concept is good.
Yeah,
But
it's like, I mean, if they apply arrow in a good way, because I mean they've kind of started doing it with the start menu and the
right.
notification center. They just continue that to title bars and bring back the blur transparency for the taskbar. I don't know why that's still gone. That was there in pre 10240 builds. Then they got rid of it and said it was causing performance issues, which makes no sense as it worked in Windows 7, right?
I have good news for you, Zach.
But
The day you die, Windows 10 will still be the latest operating system for Microsoft.
and I bet it still doesn't include a blur
So,
chart.
so you got a long time for these things to be put in.
Yeah, people get mad when they get annoyed at people complaining about Windows 10 because there's a lot of complaining this time around with this release of Windows, saying that it feels unfinished, and admittedly in some areas it does feel unfinished. If you try to use the what's the feature called? Let's see if I can find it. The file thing. What's it called?
File Explorer?
In backup, file history.
Oh, file history.
If you try to edit any settings, any file history settings within the Universal Settings app, the app will 95% of the time crash. And it's like, this is broken. This isn't ready for prime time. Yet it's being deployed onto 210 million people's, machines worldwide.
Yeah. Well, and then even little things like Edge, still not. It's not just not done. It's just not. It's not just extensions. It's like favorites. I've deleted and then tried to unsync favorites multiple times, and they just pop back up with your messaging. You delete a message, and then it shows up later.
The message app's
like
a joke in itself. It's like there's so much wrong with Windows 10 right now. Redstone is supposed to fix things, but I bet it doesn't. I bet it introduces new issues that just were never there before. It's early days, though, I have to admit, it is early days. But people who keep complaining about it being never done, yeah, but there's got to be a point in which we have to have some kind of, fine operating system. I don't want to feel like a beta tester or beta tester for the rest of my life.
Well, hold on a sec. Yes, you do.
I do, yeah, but, my mother doesn't, for example.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. Is our moms don't want to be.
I'm
beta
sure
testers.
200 million people don't want, out of the 200 and however many million people running Windows 10, I'm pretty sure only a small amount don't mind running Redstone before it's released and whatever other stuff.
Right.
It's just, yeah, it's a little bit rough right now, and don't get mad when people say that because it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's like terrible. It's just not done.
It's just not. I mean, it never will be done, but then we need to reach a point in which it feels done for most people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what software does it where it's constantly rolling but it feels finished? I guess.
Does OS X always feel finished?
Yeah, OS X feels fine when I use OS X.
Yeah, I
not
don't like OS X.
No,
but
neither
that's
do
not,
I.
But that's not because it doesn't work. I just don't like it because I'm used to something else.
It's an interesting new way of going for Microsoft, and I think because since this is their kind of the first time doing it this way, it's gotten off to a rough start, but it should improve.
Yeah.
With Redstone, hopefully.
Well, there you go. Well, in the theme of fixing things, Microsoft actually released another build this week,
Yes,
but this
did.
one was for, as I call them, Windows outsiders.
It's not a build though. For the PC, it's a patch more than a build.
Well, technically, it did bring it to a new build, though.
Yeah, a build revision. Remember, it's the dot.
Right. Oh, that's true. That's true. So we're now on 10.586.6.3, and it came with, I'm going to go with only fixes.
Absolutely.
I don't think it was
Many
anything.
fixes.
So it was part of a cumulative update, version 1511 for x64 based systems, and then there's a whole KB code there, etc. It does bring you to 10.586.6.3. It seems to be running better, I guess. You always get that, like, do you get this, like, you wonder, is it the placebo effect?
It's
or did
always
this build, or did this, like what's the technical term? There's a patch. Did this patch actually fix anything?
It's at 99% of the time the placebo effect.
Yeah, oh man, it's running fast. No, it's probably the same.
Unless it's from the phone, because my Lumia 915 no longer reboots itself randomly.
Oh, there you go. That's nice.
Hooray, they fixed something. But
You get like the winning Powerball or something, and it's like, oh no, phone rebooted. Sorry, no.
What is the Powerball? Is that just like is that the standard lottery for the Americans?
It's a giant national lottery. So there's
It's
state lotteries and there's a national
Oh,
lottery.
okay. Because aren't all lotteries in the UK national? I don't do the lottery, so I don't know.
I don't do the lottery either. It was just big in the U.S. because it reached 1.6 billion dollars.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
Three people won it, and you got to think they'll even split between three people. That's over $500 million each.
That's enough to set you up for life, I think.
Imagine how many Lumia 950 XL display docks you could purchase.
I just have a wall of them behind
You could
me.
build your house out of them.
Yeah, you could do something. You could buy all the surface. You could have a surface fort.
I have to admit, Zach, out of the people that we know, you and I are probably one of the two worst people to win the lottery.
Why?
I would buy so much tech.
Oh yeah, so
Like I'd be a cyborg in like 3 years.
I would use it to gain access to CorpNet. I don't know why, but I feel like money would allow me to do this.
I don't know.
I'd just bribe someone. I'd just bribe Microsoft.
I know you. I know what you would have. You'd have every Lumia.
Yes.
You'd have every Surface.
Yes.
You'd have like every accessory for every device.
Yes.
And then you like, wouldn't even use them. You'd have some still in boxes behind you.
Yeah, I'd keep the boxes as well. I'd have to have warehouses of just backup.
And I have no idea what I would do, but I'm sure I'd spend a lot on tech.
It'd be crazy. It'd be like, I have everything, but then I'd feel bored because if I had everything, I'd like not being able to afford everything because then there's stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, I suppose that's
Money
true.
would ruin me, Sean.
Because you wouldn't have anything to look forward to.
No, it'd just be like, oh, I've got that. Oh, I have that.
There you go, folks. Nobody, if you win a large sum of money, don't give it to Zach.
I did not say that.
That's what he just said, folks.
No,
That's what he
I didn't
just
say
said.
that. I want to win the lottery. I should start doing the lottery. I can't win the lottery if I don't do the lottery.
Anyway,
I should
well,
start.
Speaking of money, even if people were given millions of dollars, apparently they wouldn't buy a computer.
Yes, because apparently the PC market share, the PC market has crashed a fair bit. This year or the last year, PC sales were down 10.6%, which is the lowest it's been in ever. I think it is actually. I'm sure I wrote ever. That's pretty much it. I mean, PC sales have been dying for a while, but with Windows 10 being free, they were never going to be good in the first place because people who bought Windows 7 PCs 8 years ago, or how old is Windows 7 now? Yeah, no, so it could be.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, they're not going to feel entitled to upgrade because they don't need to, since Windows 10 is being offered, and Microsoft is saying your PC is compatible. So it's like, oh, my PC works fine still. I can just upgrade from here. I don't need to buy the new Dell XPS 13,000, whatever it is now, or the new HP Spectre or the Surface. They just don't need to, and that's kind of probably the main reason why sales are down so much.
Now wait a sec. Was anyone really going to buy a new computer just to get Windows 10?
People, I mean, yeah, I would say yeah.
I guess if you were on Windows 8, I guess you actually might have.
No, Windows 8 no, actually no, I guess so, you're right, because Windows 7 users are kind of die hard about Windows 7 still.
Yeah.
Although Windows 8 is catching up in market share, which is very impressive.
Which is odd.
No, I don't know, because Windows 10 Windows 10 is a good successor to Windows 7 compared to Windows 8. I can see why people didn't jump from to Windows 8, but Windows 10, I mean, I can see why people are jumping. It's a better operating system overall. It's a mix of the best of Windows, because Windows 8 brought a number of under the hood performance and features that desktop users would benefit from, like hybrid boot and the new DirectX and all that other, all the under the hood stuff that Windows 8 brought along. But Windows 7 users couldn't take advantage of it because they didn't like the whole touch interface. Windows 10 still includes those Windows 8 features, so under the hood features. So Windows 7 users can now benefit from those desktop enhancements on Windows 10 that were introduced in Windows 8, which is kind of why I think more people are upgrading from Windows 7 now.
The comment section brought up an interesting point. Someone said that the report excludes Windows 10 tablets like the SP4 and Surface Book.
Yes, they do, and so that kind of blurs.
So what is that then? What's a Surface Book if it's not a laptop or a PC?
It's just a new kind of device. It's a two-in-one.
And that's a new category in that report. There's like PCs, 2-in-1s, tablets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's like It's very interesting how they're not including devices like the Surface, because the Surface is becoming more popular now. Like these two-in-one devices from a number of OEMs are kind of the next thing.
So wait a sec. So like Leah has a Dell XPS 12. That's a flippy over notebook laptop thing that kind of becomes a
I guess
tablet.
that's a two-in-one as well.
It's the laptop.
Yeah,
The Lenovo Yoga Pro,
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying how it is.
is the Yoga Pro, is that not a laptop either? Is that not a PC?
I guess you can count it as a two-in-one. I don't know. I don't know what you call the ones that don't detach.
Oh, that's stupid. That's a dumb counting system.
Yeah, I think they count tower-based PCs or all-in-ones.
Oh, good. So if I'm over here with something from 1994, or I make, something for Disney or Lucasfilms, me and Steven Spielberg over here running tower PCs, I'm sure that
And
they're
laptops,
wonderful.
of course, as well.
Okay, I'm sure tower PCs are wonderful, but they can't be that common.
It's,
I guess a lot of businesses actually probably use tower PCs.
yeah, a lot of businesses still use, the old Dell things. But, yeah, it's more people are moving towards these more portable two-in-ones and tablets now. So
This is a completely unreliable report.
it's accurate for the old traditional PC style, though.
They would need for me to be happy, they'd have to do two-in-ones plus PCs to accurately do this. I mean, like the fact that a Yoga Pro, a Dell XPS, none of those are counted. This is just a stupid thing. It's not your fault. I'm not mad at you. Like, I'm just saying, like,
That's not my fault. I didn't.
that's a poor way of counting.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. People are saying the PC era is over. I don't think so.
Because what this says to me, if you told someone, if you go, oh, look at this, because eventually, if the Yoga and the HP Spectre and the Surface and the Dell XPS and all of these lines, which are some of the most popular lines from each of these OEMs, are technically classified as two-in-ones. And then someone comes out with a stat and they're like, did you know that Microsoft powered two-in-ones are gaining quickly on the iPad? What would they say? They'd go, that's not a two-in-one. That's a laptop. It's like, so when you're beating tablets with all the two-in-ones, they're not tablets. And then when you're losing, they're not PCs to make up the difference.
No,
it's a pretty poor counting system.
it's just a nuts counting system. But I was going to say something I completely forgot. It's fine, I think, but I wouldn't worry about these numbers because I'm not. I mean, I don't see a future in which nobody buys desktops no more.
Well, let me put it this way. If we reach a point where people are only buying phones, the first company that's making phones that can also be PCs is Microsoft. So, and tablets, they can replace PCs for some people, but not that many people. I think most people need a mobile device and a PC or a two-in-one. And so Microsoft, I think, is pretty covered. Windows is going to be running on either a PC, a two-in-one, or if people do go phone only, the only option is going to be phone only that's run by Windows. So I think Microsoft's pretty safe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a future in which Microsoft is dead either. So, this is just a report, really. There's not much to say.
People seem to think that like Microsoft is done. I know they need to do stuff. I'm not claiming that they just sit on their laurels, but they run on like 90% of the world's PCs. They have the highest. They had what did they make? Didn't they make the most money that they've ever? Well, their stock was worth more than it's ever been worth last year.
It's on 60 now, $60 I think it is or something.
So how can that? I mean, Microsoft's doing fine. They're the most profitable they've ever been.
Stocks are up,
or at least the stocks are the highest they've ever been.
I don't think ever, but in the last decade or something.
Well, that's still a long time, like 10 plus years at least. So, I think they want like a headline. They want to like PCs are dying as I write this on a PC, and you're reading it on a PC. Like, so.
Did you know it's apparently biased of us to own stock in Microsoft if we cover Microsoft?
Yeah, well, I don't do that. That makes sense.
I mean, I don't own any stocks in Microsoft, so I'm unbiased.
That would be 100% because you'd sit there and we'd come out there and be like, everyone should buy a Surface Book. They're perfect.
True.
There isn't a flaw around.
No, I mean,
they don't wobble at all.
That
wedge is a feature.
I bash Microsoft enough to be unbiased. Although I get called a fanboy a lot which is, I mean, I guess I am a fan of Microsoft, but trust me, they do things wrong, and I do point that out.
Yeah.
Especially to the PR team.
We are WinBeta, and I'm sure most sites like us are accused of both being Microsoft haters and Microsoft fanboys and
Yes,
girls, because we have a female on staff now. So we've got
we
to start using
cannot
female
win.
pronouns, listeners.
We cannot win when it comes to stuff like that. I will say this build sucks, and I'll get so many people going, "You just are the worst person. Go and cover Apple. You are just awful." And then I'll be like, "Oh, this is not bad." And he'll go, it's terrible. Why are you saying it's good? It's not good. I hate you." It's like, well, I'm just not gonna talk. I said I mentioned earlier I should update the Mac here to the latest OS X beta build, and some people on Twitter were like, "Traitor."
Hold on, but traitor is almost like a compliment now because of Star Wars.
True.
Traitor. Can you spin your MacBook around and make it into a? It's been out like a month. Are we allowed to talk about it yet?
No, we're not
No?
allowed to talk. I tell you what, I would call it acceptable to talk about the new Star Wars when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
Well, yeah,
Have you seen
that's in a few months, I think. I don't think it'll be too long.
People say Blu-ray edition, and they've made Ray look blue. Ha.
Good joke.
Traitor.
Right, let's move on. Let's talk about some new hardware being rumored to be announced at Mobile World Congress.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'm not too convinced at this rumor.
No, neither am I.
I've lost the story. No, I haven't.
It's right in the window,
so apparently, the Lumia 750 or the 850 will be announced at Mobile World Congress alongside the 650. Now, we know the 650 is coming. That's a done deal at this point, I believe. But the 750, 850 were cancelled devices. Now, a recent report said the 750 or 850 went through, is it FCC or FFC?
FCC.
FCC, which is kind of like, what is it, the Health and something?
No, Federal Communications Committee.
I don't know what that means.
Something like that. Something with communicating in telenetworks and that sort of thing.
Right. They went through that. And that's usually one of the final stages for a product before it's released to marketing, like released to people for to buy. So people claiming that the 750 or 850 has been cancelled, those reports are being contradicted by this statement of it's coming soon. And with this report here, somebody says it's supposed to be launched alongside the 650 at Mobile World Congress. And we don't even know if the 650 is going to be announced at Mobile World Congress. Microsoft could decide to have their own little event at a different date announcing this handset. So this report comes from TechRadar, which is actually quite a big website, so maybe it is a credible rumor. I don't know, really. I mean, I've heard the 650 wasn't coming. And I have seen no indication for it, no indication or word from people.
You mean the 850?
The 750, 850, sorry.
Yeah.
Because people, apparently nobody knows if it's the 750 or the 850. They're like 750 or 850. Either way, I don't think this is coming. I haven't heard anything from anybody about the 750 or 850. I've only heard lots about the 650.
Yeah.
And that makes sense considering it's close to launch. If I haven't heard anything about the 850 at this point, it's either under like really tight testing and control, and which doesn't make sense considering it's only a 750 or 850. It's like, this is a very interesting time, and it'll be very interesting to see if this device does actually launch. What do you think?
Well, I can't speak on the credibility of the rumors because I have no idea who their sources are. They could be anything from 100% true to not. Like you said, it's a pretty big website. So whatever they heard it from, I'm guessing was a source that's generally credible, or they wouldn't have published it. But that doesn't mean it's 100% guaranteed to be right. Sometimes, sometimes things are approved or they go through FCC, but then they're never released. And sometimes you get like you said, they don't even know if it's the 750 or the 850. So that says to me, there's still some questions about what it could be. I don't think Microsoft should release this many phones. He got out this Satya Nadella came up there and is like, we're gonna consolidate the phone lines. We're gonna have budget. We're gonna have flagship, and we're gonna have business. And you're like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. And most of us were thinking, all right, that'll probably be either 3 phones or it'll be 6 phones. It'll be 2 of each. But it's not gonna be like it is now, where there's a 400 line, 500, 600, 7, all the way through. At one point, there was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, and 15 running around. Now, some of those weren't all released within the same year or two, but you know what I'm saying. There were a lot of different Nokias running around. And we thought Microsoft was going to consolidate this. They just came out with a 550, They relatively recently came out with a 435, though that's at this point kind of an old device, but it's still like a year.
I think they're
Then you
like
get then you're gonna have a 650 plus a 750 or 850, and then they have two 950s. How's this consolidating?
here's what I think. I think it's the 50 line that means consolidating, being that it's the 950 and the 950 XL, which counts as one range. Then you got the 550, which is the second range, and a mid range.
I guess
Mid range would be for business, I think.
there's just a lot of phones, and people don't. This naming system, people don't know it.
Yeah,
You need
but
some marketable, easy to understand, two or three buzzwords that people get it. iPhone, Galaxy. People know Galaxy. They'll put that name on anything. Galaxy's on all sorts of products. It's got nothing to do with a phone. Aren't there like Galaxy non-phones, like watches or something? Maybe they don't use Galaxy for that,
I
but
think it'll be the Surface Phone in which they really start their consolidating. It'll be the Surface Phone. You reckon that has Surface Phone variants such as a first Surface Phone. You know, how does
if there's a
how does Samsung do their Galaxy numbering?
well, they have the Galaxy S series, which is S1 through I think
Yeah.
7 is coming up, and then they also their bigger version is the Note. It's basically roughly similar, but it's a size up. So, but now that's kind of being muddled because I think there's a Galaxy 6 S6 Plus. I think.
How do they do their specs though? Because they have low end Galaxies, right?
Yeah, like I said, they said that name on lots of things.
Like
It's
the
not. It's like I
Galaxy
said,
something.
Galaxy to a lot of people, I think, is more recognizable than Samsung when it comes to being a
True.
good phone.
Yeah.
And so that's what Microsoft they need a brand, and then hopefully it'll be Surface. But this numbering system and the fact that there's a million of them, you go to a store and if there's a 550, a 650, 850, 950, people say, "What are these phones?" I don't know. And then the fact that they all look alike, that doesn't really help.
No, yeah. I reckon when the Surface Phone's out, it'll be Surface Phone is high end, just like all the other Surface products, because all Surface devices are high end. Surface Phone is high end. Then you get mid range Lumias and low end Lumias. Low end Lumias. So the 950 and the 950 XL will be the last of their kind for the Lumia series, I think. Although there's a rumored, leading on to the next story, there's a rumored Snapdragon 820 6-inch device, isn't
But I
there?
don't think that's made by Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
Well, we don't know that for sure. I'm just guessing based on how this was written by us. It says because the intro is as we wait for the HP Falcon to be formally announced, another device
Oh, yeah.
like the HP Falcon has shown up. So I'm assuming this is a non-Microsoft Windows 10
Yeah,
mobile
yeah.
device, which we can get into specs now, but it's relatively high-end specs because it sports an 820 Snapdragon 820. It's a 6-inch device, got pretty good display, somewhere between 32 to 64 gigs of memory, quad-core CPU. It's ARM based, so the camera's pretty good. 20 back, 12 front. So I don't think that's made by Microsoft, though. I think the rumor on this is
Yeah.
just another. But I'm cool with the crowded market if it's because of competing devices. And the comments pointed out it's a good thing. I don't think Microsoft should exactly emulate the Samsung naming scheme,
No, I don't think
but the
so.
fact that Samsung has a phrase Galaxy that people recognize, I think that's something to emulate.
Yeah, so back to what we were talking about just a second ago, I reckon it would be the Surface Phone for high end, Lumia would be mid and low end.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah,
Mark
I think that
system,
I think
that naming
I think that'd
system?
be pretty. When they stop because they weren't able to use the word Nokia forever. I think when they stopped using the word Nokia, their goal was to get people to associate Lumia with high quality budget and mid range phones, which to be honest, they are. I think the Lumia 650 is excellent. You have a Lumia 550, which you're really happy with.
Yes.
Lumia are really good budget and mid-range phones, and I agree that to compete with flagships, they should use a Surface line. But I think among mid-range devices, if people aren't not buying the 640 because it's a bad phone, they're not buying the 640 because of the app gap and other things like, and they just don't know about it and that sort of thing. Surface, I agree. They should break off the. It's obviously all under one guy, but the naming scheme should split, and that the design language should split as well. I think the polycarbonate back with metal trim could stick to the Lumias, but the Surface phone I think should look more premium.
It
It
should
should
feel
look
like a Surface.
it should look like a Surface Pro 4 or a Surface Book. That magnesium look, that magnesium material.
You know what? The complete Surface line, it will be Surface Phone, Surface Mini, which is Windows 10 Mobile running on an 8-inch device, Surface, the non-Pro Surface, Surface Pro, Surface Book. Oh, and then at the low
Surface
end,
Hub.
and Surface Hub, exactly. That's the big end. And then you can also have a Surface Watch eventually.
You want a Surface Watch?
I would
Oh,
absolutely have a
I'd buy
Surface
one of
Watch.
those.
So would I.
Surface Watch with Continuum.
Yeah.
Don't think about it, mate. What if they got to a point they could have your PC
In your
wirelessly project from your wrist onto any monitor?
That is amazing.
You could go anywhere in the world that has a
Microsoft,
monitor and have full
Again,
computer.
pick up our ideas here. We gave you the
I'm
Surface
sure-
Book. We're giving you a new idea.
I'm
Do
sure they're working on it.
Do it.
That would be pretty sweet, though.
I would have every Surface device at that point. And that's where I need the $1.5 billion from the
That's true.
Powerball.
That's true.
I just buy the Surface Watch, the Surface Phone, the Surface Mini, the Surface Normal. Okay, they're going to have to rename the Surface Normal at some point. Because Surface 4, like, Surface... I don't know. What could they call it to make it the low end?
I don't know. Surface Poor? I don't know which. Like, I like the non-pro line, but I don't know what you would name it.
Yeah, because people are just because normal consumers will see the standard Surface as the Surface, like the first Surface, like
That's
this
true.
is the Surface to buy, and then you've got the other editions, like.
Yeah,
But the Surface, the non-pro Surface line is a little bit too underpowered to be considered as, you know, it's an Intel M3, the Surface 3, and
You'd say it's a premium tablet, but not a premium PC.
yeah, it's not. I don't know, maybe
Surface Pleb. That's the team name.
Surface Pleb. That's a good one. Many namings. Surface Lite, that's a good one.
I do like the Surface Lite. Good job, Ultra. There you
and
go.
and the advertising, they can be the Surface Lite is pretty light, and then hold out with just one hand. Even
Actually, that's the best one we've heard. I think that's good. Surface Lite. That's the winner.
Surface Extra Value,
Extra Surface Asda.
Surface Lidl Edition.
Where's the nearest little?
Oh dear.
Anyway,
Right,
let's wrap up the phone one real quick. I got a poll that we did with the audience there on which design they like more out of these rumored devices, the 650 or the 850. I guess I should briefly go over kind of the designs. Do you want to put my screen on there?
Do we want to risk it?
Nah, let's not risk it.
Let's
But
not risk it.
we have there'll be a link in the article for this actual one for this podcast, and then that has links to the full specs anyway, or full spec rumors. So the 650 and the 850, in my opinion, look very nice. They both have what I would say are very Lumia-esque design languages, but they are a little different. The 650 goes with a metal trim. I think it's a polycarbonate back. Obviously, these somewhat rumors, you don't know how much, some people are pretty solid that these are going to come out, but obviously these are renders, and so take it with a grain of salt. And remember what we all thought of the 950 before it came out. We all thought it was hideous.
Admittedly, the 650 does look pretty nice in its marketing.
650 looks good.
In its render, sorry.
Does the 650 have a front-facing speaker?
I did, but it's got metal frame, and that's all that matters.
Let me see if it has.
Has it got? Is it an AMOLED screen or IPS?
I don't have the spec rumors in front of me, do I? Oh, here we go. Specs are up in the air. 720p, 5-inch display, Snapdragon 212 gig of RAM. I don't think it doesn't have what type of screen that they think it is. So it looks very nice. I'd say it looks a lot like these phones that already have a Mozo case on them, but just built in. It's got like a plastic looking back, a ring around the camera that's metal, and then metal sides with some buttons, which is, if you go get a 950 and then put a Mozo case on it, that's pretty similar to what it is. The other one, the 850, in my opinion, looks very nice. It looks kind of like a little mini 1520, I guess you'd say. Don't you think? Yes. Maybe it's more like a 650, 640
is
XL.
it an official render or a concept?
I have no idea. This is like the rumored specs, but obviously it's a leak, so we don't know how reliable it is. The poll wasn't on if it's real. The poll was on which one you like more, Zach.
Okay, true. Okay, fair enough.
Which do you like more?
The 650.
The 650.
Yeah.
It does look nice. Yeah, I like it.
Metal.
And I like the metal side with the plastic back because that gets that premium look,
Just like
but
the
the
930.
durability of plastic. That's true. That's true.
Are you still having issues with your 930?
Yeah, whatever.
How are you having issues with it still?
I think I broke it, but it's fine. It's good enough. It's just battery life that's not wonderful, and
It
that's
should be alright. My battery life was fine.
well. I think it's because I had to do that reset by like frying it.
Yeah.
Remember, I know that was me. That's fine. But in any event, let me get to the poll results. So we had 645 voters. I don't know where all our voters went. They used to vote. We used to have thousands. Anyway, 51% agree with you. Lumia 650. 49% went the other way towards the 850. So there you go.
Yeah.
I hope that they kind of keep that 650 look moving forward. That's a nice looking phone, especially for that price. If it's anything like the 640 but just looks better, that's great. I love the 640.
Do you think the Surface phone should have that similar design with the metal frame and then the polycarbonate back, or should the Surface phone be 95% magnesium?
Can you put wireless charging through
If you
magnesium?
have like a plastic, you know how the Surface Pro has like the plastic bit along the top for the doesn't. I lied. Oh, it does. It does. If you know how the Surface Pro has like the plastic bit going along the top.
I didn't, but I don't want them to remove wireless charging.
I think
Can
the
you do
Surface 2 has it as well.
Can you do wireless charging through metal?
Question.
Yeah, if you can't do that, I don't know. They'll have to work around it. Comment section full of smart people and engineers that know more about this stuff than I do. Can you do wireless charging through metal? Because if you can, sure, I think it should look just like a Surface. Put in a kickstand for all I care.
Yeah, a kickstand. Ugh. A kickstand would be very interesting. Yes, TweetDeck is down. This is sad news for everybody.
TweetDeck's down for everybody?
I think Twitter's down as well.
Oh, man.
Oh no,
Twitter's down.
Twitter's up.
Oh, probably went bankrupt.
They closed down just now.
Well, they never make any money, right?
Yeah, I don't see how, because I mean, I say everybody's on Twitter. I don't think that's true. Everybody I know's on Twitter. Actually, I say that. People I know who in real life who aren't into tech aren't on Twitter. Only a few people are that I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm studying journalism, and I don't think everyone I know is on Twitter.
I don't know.
I think it's really popular, but let me ask you, when's the last time you saw an ad on Twitter?
Earlier.
Really? Or
Yeah,
you use the app, though?
No, on the website. You get like the promoted tweets. Isn't that an ad? Doesn't that count as an ad?
Oh, I only use TweetDeck, so...
I know. I think
I guess you're right, promoted tweet. But I don't think they have a good business model right now because it's like a free service. Hard to make money off of free services.
True.
Anyway, moving on from that. I hope Twitter sticks around. I love Twitter. There's the poll there. We got a few bits of gaming news, and then we're going to wind down, I guess. But sweet, gaming news. Go ahead, Zach.
Yes. I hate to admit it, especially to those PlayStation 4 fans, but the Xbox One's not doing too well compared to PlayStation 4 sales, which is to be expected, considering Microsoft done goofed with their Xbox One announcement, and gamers have been bitter ever since.
Yep.
Like, I think the Xbox One is doing outrageously bad compared to the PlayStation. I think the PlayStation's on like 40 or 30 million sales.
That's
and the
like
Xbox,
double.
The
Yeah.
Xbox One's only on like 15 or something.
Well, we reported 18 was the rumor.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. It's like, that's awful.
Yeah.
An awful amount of sales compared to the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because Xbox is clearly the better one out of the two.
I think the Xbox there's a lot of things.
The Xbox One's more a hub for your home than just a gaming console, because you can do more on the Xbox One than the PlayStation 4. Admittedly, the PlayStation 4 runs games a little bit better than the Xbox One, but you're not buying a console to run, games at ultra 120 frames per second, because they simply can't. You're buying a console for relaxed on the couch gaming.
Do you think the ninth generation will be able to, though?
No, they will fall behind fast.
Apparently, the Xbox One, this is called the 8th generation of consoles. So the ninth generation should, at minimum, be
the 8th generation's been an interesting generation because it's kind of going by too quickly. Like, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 lasted forever.
They're still lasting. Like, to this day, people still buy new stuff for them.
And there's still games being... Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was released for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Right.
It's like... The new gen, or the current gen as it is now, is dying off a lot quicker, being like games are already struggling.
Right.
Like with the Xbox 360, games are still running at their optimum, even towards the end of its life cycle. Like some of the more recent games before the Xbox One came out and stuff kind of did start chugging the Xbox a little bit, but it lasted a long time. But the Xbox One's already struggling. It can't run most games at 1080p.
Yeah.
It's just a sad day for many
Yeah.
people.
I mean, I think Microsoft they bumbled a lot of things. It's like if you were dating each of the consoles. The PlayStation 4 came in, it was good. It did what you wanted. Did what you wanted in a partner or a console, however you want to take this analogy. After a while, PlayStation Slim came along, looking real fit. You're like, oh, all right, buddy. Like PlayStation 4, like this is a good looking person. You're like, this is a good console. Xbox One, like terrible first date, lost your number and had to find it later when they bumped into you at Acosta. Like just terrible first impression. But then over the next few years has become like a really solid individual. But you're still the clod that lost my number.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean?
it's exactly how it is.
That's how it is. That's exactly how it is. Because you sit there and it's like the Xbox One is a good console now. Just a terrible first impression. It's really hard to overcome
It's
those.
funny. The Xbox One has not won this battle.
Nope.
It lost to the PlayStation 4, and I hate admitting it to PlayStation fans because the Xbox was the champion for so long compared to the PlayStation 3. It was like PlayStation or Xbox. Play Xbox, of course, any day. And now it's PlayStation or Xbox. PlayStation.
Yeah.
Microsoft, I hate you for failing me.
That makes me. In my analogy, I think I made the consoles males, which for me I'd be looking for a female. But I wonder what gender do most people call their consoles?
I think they're guy consoles.
You think most people call consoles men?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Is that
Huh.
sexist of me? Am I going to get
I don't know what's.
I'm
I
sure a
think
lot of trouble
I
now.
wonder because I think a lot of the time men will call like their car a girl, but then girls will call their car a guy.
Is that how that works?
I think that's usually how that works.
Machinery was considered female always.
No, I usually in my book, I think most people that buy a boat or a car, if it's a male owner, they'll refer to their boat as a female.
Interesting. I don't know how
Yeah.
this works.
So this is important. Comment section. You need to figure this out.
Yeah, let the comment section decide. They know what's best.
There you go. There. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, I guess I have a story left. I haven't really read this.
Sorry, I'm frustrated about this story because it's a simple thing that the Xbox 360 can do. Bear in mind, the Xbox 360 can do this very feature that we're about to talk about.
Just go ahead, Zach. Just talk about it. I don't know
the
about it.
the Xbox One cannot play music and play a game at the same time.
Yeah, there's that.
It's ridiculous, and they're saying that they said last year that it was something. It was top priority for them last year, a while ago last year. Keep in mind, and now they've come out today or yesterday, and they've said, "Yeah, that feature's not coming till mid 2016." Are you kidding me? This is something that the Xbox 360 has been able to do since 2005.
Hey, Zach. What if you could run music in the background, but only when you were playing Xbox 360 backwards compatible games
You know what?
while running an emulator?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually a thing, because the actual emulation software has that mini guide that you could start music from. I don't know. I have to check it, but it's a ridiculous thing. I cannot believe that it has taken them. When was the Xbox One released? 2013, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
It has been 3 years, and it still cannot play music and a game
And you
at
know
the same
what?
time.
That's a feature. Like, I know that they add cool features. Like, there are features that people want that they add, and you're like, oh, that's nice. But playing music in the background
It's
while
something
playing games,
simple.
it's so. And Microsoft owns a music service.
And they're running Windows 10, which is great for multitasking.
Like Groove Music is a Windows 10 app. Groove
Yes.
Music is a Windows 10 app. The Xbox One is running Windows 10. Like, make this happen. They could advertise that. You like play your music from any device, including Xbox, and you're just like, pew pew pew, I'm playing Halo. And then you're like, you have like, they could have the what was that amazing song that was in the background during the Halo commercials for Halo 5?
I don't remember.
They could have that playing in the background, but then they could make it sound like it was coming through the guy's headphones, because then when they zoom out, it's like a little muddled.
Think of it like this.
Bam.
When Cortana comes to Xbox One, you can be playing a game and you can go, hey Cortana, play this playlist. whilst in the middle of your game.
Play Halo playlist, and then
Play
you have like a Halo
playlist.
playlist.
Exactly. Play the Halo 2 album. Done. It's playing, and you're just sitting there playing your Halo 2. It's such a simple thing that should have been in there day one, and it's not coming for another 6 months. I hate Microsoft sometimes, and
Yeah.
I'm a fanboy. I hate being a fanboy. I'm moving to Apple. I'm buying an iPhone 6s.
You say that like every month.
I'm
and you
buying a
come across-
MacBook Air
Yeah.
or Pro
Yeah. Someone's.
and an iPad for whatever they're on now.
I admit that I was showing people. When I went to the States, I saw the iPad Pro in person for the first time.
It's stupid, isn't it?
Even you couldn't buy that. It's just comedically large.
It's just a bigger iPad. There's no like.
And I showed my dad and my fiance, and they're just like, yeah, that's kind of stupid.
It is. It's
So-
like there's no software optimization or anything.
So even you couldn't go that far,
God's
even
sake.
if you went Apple.
Twitter going down just locked me out of Twitter, and I can't log back in.
Did you tweet in the middle of the podcast?
Earlier I did. Why?
uh,
Did earlier.
anyway,
Right. Yeah, we should sign off.
I guess we probably should switch over to the after party.
So yeah, that was the WinBeta podcast for the week of January 15th. You can find us on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at ZachB_. You can find Sean on Twitter at
Sean_Michael_UK.
You can find WinBeta on Twitter at WinBetaDOT.org, on Facebook at facebook.com/WinBeta.org, Google Plus, just search for us, YouTube, subscribe to us. You should be watching us on YouTube. If you're listening via the SoundCloud, if you're listening via the audio podcast, we thank you because you're the best. And yeah, so I think that's
They,
pretty
they
much
like us enough to listen, but not enough to look at us.
Not enough to look at. We're not good looking enough, that's why.
No, that must be. But I did my hair in a shape. Did I try to look nice? Got a nice shirt with a collar.
You
Shirt's
know-
got a collar.
They will never know because they don't listen.
They'll never know.
They don't
I got a
watch us.
purple shirt with a collar. I gelled my hair today with the new gel.
They'll never know that I is sitting here topless. So-
Whoa,
They
Zach. Question, is that going to make our viewership go up or down?
I mean, you know what? The audio listeners, there's only one way to find out if I am actually topless or not. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.